Alright, hello. We've got a TSDZ2H motor on here. I think it's the 48 volt variant, judging by the voltage of the battery that's hooked up to it. If you look there, 51.44 volts. The controller appears to have died on it because if you check our display, we get absolutely nothing. No amount of holding it down, pressing it, tapping it, anything like that will work. The connectors seem alright. This connector here does look a bit suspiciously damaged. It's almost like it's not pushing in all the way. But it doesn't seem to work, regardless of what we try. I'm going to see if you can actually remove the controller without taking the whole motor off the bike. Don't know if it's possible, but going to find out. I will update you more as I get on, but who knows. Let's see. Unfortunately, we've got all the little bolts are stuck. These tiny little Allen head. You see, I've tried to which immediately rounded off. I've tried to bash in a Torx, twist it, end of my Torx bit snapped off, and this one here, if you can see, there's all this sort of aluminium corrosion shmoo. I'll show you. So what's all over the bolt here is just like aluminium corrosion stuff. And unfortunately, this is with the Torx bit bashed into the Allen head. They're all just snapping off or rounding off, so that'll be great fun. I'm just going to try and get this bolt as it comes out so you can see this is the level of corroded that it all is. A little unfortunate. I've got this one here, which unfortunately I've got a bit stuck in now, which is great. I think it's the dust cover side of it. Alright, we have some form of success. The dust cover is off. This is the motor itself with the Hall sensor connections and then our phase wires to it. This is the offending bolt. It took, unfortunately, damaging the dust cover to get it off, but it is what it is. 3 out of the 4 mounting tabs are intact. You might be able to buy replacement dust covers, who knows. And the bolt head will still hold that on. There's enough left that it will be okay, and some sealant around the top of that. Obviously it'll need to be all cleaned up. Hopefully we'll be alright. Aside from water damage, not really a lot going on in there. I've seen much worse. And then in here is our controller that we suspect is what's dead. When I get a bit further into it, I will update again. As for how you get the controller out, pass, but I'll keep disassembling till we find out. I think the motor's going to have to come off the bike. That's not world ending because I've taken all this off anyway, and that's just going to push out of there. Okay, we're quite a different amount in now. Took this side of the motor off, so pedal came off, this thing came off. Also, this bike is disgusting. It's just all covered in that. Took off the dust cover here, which then lets you take off 2 tiny little Phillips head screws, one there, to remove the controller. And now you see the controller's loose. I'm just removing this wiring here, and then I should be ready to pull it out. I think it's siliconed in at the far end, but I'll get it out and we'll have a look after that. Alright, that's the controller out. What I did was we've got to remove a load of this silicone in here, and then this sort of rubber plug comes out, and then you can pull out one at a time the connector for the display, the connector for the speed sensor, and then the power cable here. Be mindful, there are 2 little red and black wires here that go to what I'm assuming is the torque sensor down in there. Don't know how it manages on 2 wires, but it does, so, you know, great. Then we should be able to have it out, and then we can hook up power to it and test it a little bit. Quite limited on what we can do because it's all epoxied in place. In fact, we could probably just test it like this, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, we've got the benchtop power supply hooked up to this. It's showing, I don't know, 48 volts-ish, 47.5, but it's 48 volts. This is our display. we want to get that plugged into here. Just like that. We're getting 0.0048 of an amp now. With this disconnect we get absolutely none of an amp at all. Nothing at all. Nothing comes on the screen. The customer did actually supply us with a spare display. So if we plug its wire in, it's off camera so you can't see it, but I'm just going to see what the amperage draw is. The same, 0.48, or 0.48 should I say, so not a lot at all, but you know, something. Yeah, it's the same. What we want to do is check for voltage going up to the screen then. Which would be, what have we got? We've got a green. I'm assuming then the black will be the ground, because when isn't the black the ground? And we're going to want to test either the orange, the brown, or this sort of reddish one up here. See what we see? We've got battery voltage going up to the display. It's unlikely we've got two completely dead screens, but we do at least have battery voltage, which is funny that it's not playing ball. I'd go ahead and say that the controller's going to want replacing. Oh, or is this to do with the torque sensor here, this guy? Not too sure. Don't see how the torque sensor could work with only two cables like that. I'm going to go, what we'll do, we'll order a new controller, we'll get it swapped in, and hopefully bike comes back to life. All being well, customer will have a nice working bike again. For, I think controllers were about 40-50 quid, something like that, plus a couple of hours labour. So, right, thank you very much for watching. Okay, just a little follow-up to that. I've got the new controller, it's arrived, it's a 48 volt 15 amp one. There's the old one here, and as you can see, it's all fitted up. That needs sealing in place. The controller's not actually attached yet, but it's in. And if I turn on the battery pack, you'll see that it actually works now. So we did indeed have a blown controller, which is super handy. Once we get this all for a bit of cleaning, get it cleaned up, put back together for the customer, should be working again. And yeah, brilliant. Thanks for watching.